everybody. Welcome back once again. Another edition of Inside the Headset. It's Wednesday night. We're live and on the air. Our sponsor tonight is John Jones Real Estate. Going to roll over to Williamson County. Going to talk to the head coach of the Ravenwood Raptors, head coach Will Hester. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Doing good, Stork. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. Just got off the phone with Coach McDaniel, and I've talked to Coach Rankin, and I've talked to Chandler Tygard, and I've talked to Phillip. And so I'm on to you now.
Well, I'm glad to be in that company.
Well, it's always special. Well, you're at 3-1. You went down to the Dog Pound last Friday night and took on a hungry Smyrna. Was able to come away with a win, 28-6. Take us through it a little bit, Coach, of going over to the Dog Pound.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the score is probably not indicative of the game. It was a lot closer than that for most of the contest. We scored a couple of touchdowns late. Just like you said, Matt had them all juiced up and ready to play, and that's a good young football team that's going to get nothing but better. I know they got a really good freshman class, but Coach Williams does a good job, and excited to see all the construction and everything over at Smyrna High School. Changed a lot since last time I was there.
Yeah, and how did the Barksdale kid run? I'm impressed with him. I saw him week one, and I thought that he would continue to get better. How'd he run against you guys?
Yeah, very physical runner. They even, their kind of game plan was when they got down close to the goal line in the red zone or inside the 20, they kind of went to a wildcat package where they were kind of snapping it directly to him. So super physical runner, definitely a tough kid.
And so that's an adjustment Matt's made is, trying to get him the ball quicker in order for him to do his damage. And it seems like, it's working at times, and he's more effective that way, apparently.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that they're definitely kind of honing in on what they want to be going forward. And I think, with region play starting, those guys have a chance to be, competitive in at the top of that region if they continue to do what they're doing.
Talk about the guys that played real well on Friday night on that offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Carter Pace, our tailback, had 24 carries for 189 yards. One of those was a 63-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter. Ben Hubbard had 5 catches for 113 yards. He also had an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown in there and a 74-yard reception for a touchdown. So doing well on both special teams and on the offensive side. But just like we talk about all the time, you can't really do any of that stuff without good offensive line play. And our offensive line's been getting better and better every week, and this was probably their best performance yet.
And then you flip it to the other side, and you talked about a little bit about special teams, but it seems like your defensive side did well too because you only held them 6 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Held them to 2 field goals, and that was with them having the ball in our territory once off of a turnover. So, I thought the defense played really well. We got outside linebacker Austin Mayfield back healthy and playing again. That was big for us. And then our nose guard, Jacob Thompson, had a really big night as well. So proud of the way those guys played over there, and kind of anytime you can hold a team without having an offensive touchdown, that's a good night.
Would you like to have, rewind the tape, would you like to have that Alcoa game right now this next Friday night? If you didn't play it week one, do you feel like you're in a little bit better shape? And, of course, they are too. But had that game been at week 4, week 5, do you feel like you feel like you've been better prepared?
Yeah, maybe so. I loved it when it was, right? Anytime you play someone of that caliber early, you kind of expose what you need to work on. I almost wish you could have played them twice, right? Played them that first game of the season, then play them again a little bit later, and kind of see how much that you've improved and how much you've advanced. But, always like to be challenged that first game out, regardless of who it is.
Well, it puts you at 3-1, and then you're headed into, you've played 4 games, and now you catch Overton, and you're going to be at home, so you're going to be able to fire up that big jumbotron, and that's awful exciting for the kids and the home Raptor fans. And but Overton 1-3, maybe struggling a little bit so far this season. But what does the Raptors got to do Friday night in order to take that next step?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cliche, but I mean, I think with any high school football team, it's more about, how you execute individually than it is your opponent. I think you can honestly say, regardless of who the opponent is out there, if you kind of take care of the things that you can control, you're going to have a chance to win at the end of the game. And this week's going to be no different. Last week we had some penalties and some turnovers that allowed the game to be close, and we got to clean those things up. And as we're moving into region play this week, we need to start playing as good as we can play because of our last, games here, 5 out of the 6 are all region games.
Do you like where you are?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're coming into it off a victory. You'd rather be doing that than coming to it off a loss. I think we're getting healthy. I think the majority of our squad is back to where they were when the preseason started from a health standpoint. So I think we're going into it. It's kind of on the right trajectory.
Any shout-outs to the faculty, fans, and the staff as you get ready to host Overton on Friday night?
Yeah, coming back into the nest and need everybody to come out and support the Raptors as we start region play and check out the new Jumbotron. We need it to be a rowdy atmosphere come Friday night when the Bobcats roll in.
Coach, come away with a win, and we will not have a coach's show next week, but I'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Sounds great, Storm. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.